What's going on, guys? Matt with MotoWorks here, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to introduce you guys to the next project that we're going to be working on. For two reasons. One, I've kind of secretly wanted one of these for a long time, and I think a lot of people watching this video are probably afraid to admit it, but also would like to own one of these vehicles just because of its funky style and I don't know. I've always wanted to own one of these, and when I saw it on Marketplace, I just had to hit buy. The wife, not too happy with me, but I think it's going to be a fun little project to work on. And the second reason I got it is my little guy. He wants to help me work on this, so I think it's going to be a fun little project to get going and just to see what we make it at the end of this little series here. But without further ado, let's show you the new toy. It's a smart car, guys. This thing is awesome. It's the same size as the table I was working on Carl's engine on. It is such a small, little, tiny car. It's hilarious. I mean, if nothing, it's just a funny car. But to me, guys, it's so much more than just the novelty of it. Yes, it is a fun little small car, but I don't know. These things are kind of cool. I see them around here and there. You know, you don't really see these a lot. Of course, I bought this and then I started seeing more out there, but it still is kind of a rare car. And one of the funny things about this car is you don't see them a lot on the roads, but you do see these things a lot, especially at events where racing's going on, mainly drag racing. These make excellent push cars. A good buddy Timmy has one for his race car, and you just see these things. It's hilarious. They're pushing around several thousand horsepower race cars with, you know, a bunch of grown men just huddled up all throughout this thing, going around, zipping around the pits and stuff. It's like, it's the answer to the golf cart, because, you know, you can get one of these for about the same price you can get a golf cart, but this comes with heating, air conditioning. You know, you could drive this on the highway legally, whereas a golf cart, you could pretty much only drive it in a community for a golf cart. So it's just a cool little thing. You know what I mean? That's why I liked it. And you know, as soon as I saw this thing pop up, I'm like, I'm buying it. I didn't even know anything about it. You know, there's a couple things that I did learn about it. I learned that Smart is actually a joined effort from the Swatch watch company and Mercedes. And so the word Smart, S-M-A-R-T, you know, it stands for Swatch, Mercedes, Art. Now, this isn't something I would call art, but, you know, it's still a cool little car. You know, it just reminds me of high school, really. I used to drive around in a Honda Civic that, you know, isn't that much bigger than this. And it's just a fun little pocket rocket. You know what I mean? It's just a fun little zippy car. I don't think this one's going to be that fast, but I think as far as like zipping around little towns and just going, you know, if you go below 50 miles an hour, I think this thing's going to be an absolute blast. On the highway, I think it's going to be dangerous, but oh well. I guess we'll find out when we get there. But so here it is. This is red on red on red on red. The interior is red. It's got red on the dashboard. So here we are. Let's look inside this bad boy. It just fits in the garage so well. It's hilarious. This is sitting in here surprisingly roomy. I mean, it is only a two-seater, but it is surprisingly roomy in here. Like, I have plenty of headroom here. You know, even somebody taller than myself shouldn't have a problem fitting in this thing, which is pretty amazing. This does have a couple of add-ons that don't come with it. It's got the clock and the tach, which I always thought was hilarious. Like, you think they'd do a better job on the clock upgrade. Or, I mean, this doesn't even come with this. This is an actual option that was several $100s from what I was looking. I've been looking at the catalogs for these things, and that was a several $100 option there to get the clock and the tach separate from the gauge cluster, because the gauge cluster is very minimal. And if you look at mine is pretty much lit up like a Christmas tree here. Oh, those are the wipers. One of these days I'll figure out how this stuff works. So yeah, very minimalistic. You know, we've got blinking lights, service lights, battery lights, check engine lights. And yeah, like I said, that was an option. And I think pretty much everything else. What makes this a passion, from what I've been told, is the paddle shifters here, which they say are pretty comical. You know, these things don't shift very quickly. We'll talk about that in later videos, but yeah, it is comical that these have paddle shifters on them. But everything, again, yeah, very minimalistic in this car. So you've got your fan speed controls here, you know, temperature controls over here, levels, defrost, that type of stuff. You know, everything's just real compact on this car. Stereo, I don't know if this, I think this only has a single disc stereo here, which for some reason I was told it had a 6-disc changer, but I think I was lied to, so don't trust me on that one. But it's got a CD player, it's got a radio in it, and I think it only has like 4 speakers, door speaker, and then I think there's 2 little tweeters up there, and that's about it. One of the coolest things about this car, though, and I didn't even realize it did this, but this whole roof, if you look out at this roof here, it's all black. And if you listen, it's plastic. And you got metal here, and that's like a plastic composite. If you look up here, they did make these in a convertible, but the ones that aren't convertible, like this, has like this whole panoramic moonroof, sun, I don't even know what you call this, but that's pretty freaking neat. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool on the roof there. Alrighty guys, this is the smart car here, and this here's the reason why I got it for as cheap a price as I got it for. So here goes nothing. Yeah, she tries to start, but she doesn't start. So that's the problem with the smart car right now. So I actually did a little bit of research on this thing. Well, not research, I actually did a little bit of homework on this. And the reason it's not starting right now is because it has about 60 pounds of compression. It tries to start, it wants to start, but ultimately it doesn't start. So that's what we're going to be doing to this thing. We're going to be taking the engine out. I do have a new engine for this. Like I said, I got all the parts for this thing. So I'm going to be taking the engine out of this thing. Maybe we'll try some diagnostics beforehand, because I am a little hesitant to take it out. You know, it does have low compression. I could have a bad compression tester. I don't think that's the case, but it does try to start. So maybe I'll mess around with it and try and get it started, or more than likely what's going to happen is I'm just going to get the other engine. We're going to pop it in, and then I can look at the old engine, because I already purchased the engine. Like I said, the guy that I bought this off of, he said it ran, it overheated, he took it to a garage, they tried to fix it, he got it back, and he started it, it ran, and then shut off and left him sit right in his yard, and that's basically where he put a for sale sign on it, and then I bought it. So it has the no start issue, and it also has another issue here. So if we come in here, if you look, it's also stuck in, it won't go back into park. And from what I've been told, the reason for that is because it has to run for it to go back into park. It doesn't have to be in park to start, but it does have to be running to go back in park. Now, I don't know if I was lied to, but that's what I've been told. So, you know, hopefully that's just the issue with it. But if not, obviously we're going to have to figure that out. The other thing that's been fighting me is my kids get in here and they mess with this key, because I can't take this key out, because if you can't put it in park, it doesn't allow you to take the key out. So the key has been stuck in here for months and months as well, and the kids keep coming in here every once in a while. They turn the key on and then the battery's dead. So I've had to charge the battery now twice, but now it's in the garage, that shouldn't happen anymore. But yeah, so there's quite a bit that we're going to be working on. There's also some other little odds and ends with the car that I got to get looked at, brakes, stuff like that, make sure it's safe for the road. But it should be a fun little project. Like I said, my little guy's excited to work on this with me, so come along on the journey, guys, and we're going to have some fun with this smart car. Thank you for checking out the video, guys. We'll see you in the next one when we start to rip and tear on this bad boy. Holy crap, guys, I got it to start. Literally turned the camera off, tried to crank it a couple more times, and she started up. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's awesome. And it sounds good. Smoked like a banshee when it started, but now it's not smoking anymore, so... Oh, that's great news. That is awesome. Now, they did say they had an overheating problem with the car, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But it started. Great news. Sweet. So next video, I guess we're just going to look this thing over and see what the heck's going on with it. Awesome. Happy days.